It's Mooman.
Mooman?
This is not a dream.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Mooman. It is Mooman on the mic.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, it's your man once again, Mooman on the mic, back with another episode of the Initiative Podcast, where we get into everything world news, celebrity news, sociology, psychology, and WTF. Let's get it. Okay, so my shout out, I didn't figure out what shout out I was trying to find because there's so many to shout out in this news cycle and so many to shout out around the world. Okay, so my shout out goes to everyone who is listening to this podcast. Yes, give it up for yourselves. You are my shout outs because you've been rocking with me since, the intro, and this is super dope. I'm on episode 44, you know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy, you know what I mean? We're going to keep pushing. Episode 50 right around the corner. That's what's exciting to me. I've been doing this every day. Boom. Love doing it. And, we're going to get into the headline hero. All right, the headline hero, as y'all know, is Mental Health Awareness Month. Okay? Mental health awareness is serious. All right, I feel like I be trying to go to the doctors all the time because, you know what I mean? Like, I just got to stay up on things. Like, something, but sometimes I be overly paranoid. I done got kicked out plenty of, doctor, rooms, ill-intentionally, passive aggressively. I'm too healthily. What am I doing there, Lee? You know what I mean? But that's how I carry myself. But there be things that I've been wanting to check up on, and that's what I'm saying. So mental health, it definitely affects your biology. It affects psychology. You know what I mean? There's different levels of mental illism and mental health. You know what I mean? So I just want to make sure that we stay on it. You know what I mean? Like, for an example, there is an article, there's a trend going around on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Men are calling other men to say goodnight, and the results are amazing. All right? And then that's going to be actually one of the headlines that's going to be a headline hunting. But I wanted to call that out now on this segment, honoring the hero that is mental health awareness, that kind of emotional intelligence and emotional comfort that you get from your real friends, whether it's your girlfriends or your boyfriends, just your real guys, your real partners, your real girls. You see what I'm saying? That feels good. That's something you can look forward to in the future. That's something you can be like, yeah, I can count on him or her. Or this scenario, this space that we create, which is comfortable, that I don't trust anybody to create it with. I only trust to create it with that person. You see what I'm saying? Like, the deduction of knowing that is another mental strength that requires certain levels of mental sensitivity, and I urge everyone to keep it at the forefront of your mind. Let's get into the headline hunting. Okay, let's get it. A federal lawsuit accuses Casamigos and Don Julio of spiking their tequilas with cane spirit. An article from Food and Wine. Why it matters, though, 100% agave tequila is considered premium and commands a higher price. If the allegations are true, consumers may have been misplaced and overpaid for a product that is not what it claims to be. Diego's response. Diego denies the allegations and maintains that their tequilas comply with the relevant regulations that are certified as 100% agave. Regulatory oversight. The lawsuit also questions the oversight of Mexico's tequila certification agency, the Consejo Regulador del Tequila, okay, the CRT, referencing unverified reports of corruption and tax enforcement, or lax enforcement, I should say. So it's like, wow, this is a serious case, considering that we're talking about hundreds of dollars. See what I'm saying? Thousands for those who are at that level. We're moving on. Headline hunting. President Ibrahim Traore cancels Burna Boy's free concert in Burkina Faso. All right, following a sold-out stadium show in France, Nigerian Grammy-winning superstar Burna Boy has announced plans to perform a free concert in Burkina Faso later this year. Okay, the Afrofusion icon said this is a heartfelt gesture of love and solidarity for the people of Burkina Faso including the revolutionary leader Ibrahim Traore. Alright, it's more than music. It's about showing love to those who stand strong even when the world looks away. Alright, so Burna Boy took it as an honor. Okay, it's just not the right time. I got a world to announce that the black people are rising. The African motherland of the planet is now taken over by common sense. Alright, we're moving on. Headline hunting. The world is the most violent it has been in decades. The article from the Telegraph, at least 50 different countries have been hit by armed conflict in the past year. Okay? Research finds violence is more widespread today than it has been in decades, with armed conflict touching every major region, according to data analyzed by the Telegraph last year. Varying levels of conflict were reported across at least 50 different countries, from the civil war in Myanmar to extreme violence between drug cartels in Mexico, according to the armed conflict location and event data, the ACLED. All right, if you're good with anagrams. Experts predict that the trends will probably continue throughout 2025 and beyond. Across the 50 countries, there were at least 56 active conflicts, one of the largest quantities since 1946, with fewer conflicts being resolved, either militarily or through peace agreements, the Global Peace Index estimated. And of course, they're not getting resolved because everyone thinks that they want to be a main character in everyone else's story. Okay, that is my personal opinion on just the emotional intricacies of these wars, of these potential wars, of these geological movements which cause wars. But that comes from geological choices, doesn't it? A biological understanding, if you lack thereof, shouldn't be making geological choices at high level scales. Alright, and now we got AI on top of that, and that's being overlaid everywhere we go. So we got overlaying AI attempting to go sentient. You see what I'm saying? We got multiple potential wars that are trying to get resolved if you allow some of the powers that make sense resolve it, whether that's through Trump or if that's through anyone else. We are in the time to be alive. I just want to let everybody know that this is the time for bull's eyes, and that's a fact. We're talking about 100% success rate. Move on to the next level. Okay, the level of violence happening is certainly at one of its highest since the Second World War, said Clinda Relay, the founder and director of ACLED. The only year to exceed 56 was 2023, which recorded 59 armed conflicts, according to certain estimates. Their personal personal estimates. Okay, this is, and mind you, what did that old book say was an angrier world is a world that's most easily manipulated, most easily hoodwinked. You see what I'm saying? When you're between your emotions and you can't quite make sense of it. See what I'm saying? When your brain is not creating the gray areas between the black and white dots. You see what I'm saying? There's a problem. You know what I mean? And this is, one of the most pinnacle, you know what I'm saying, scenarios that you got to keep in mind worldwide. A lot of people only be focusing on their family. You see what I'm saying? And that's all well and great. And rightfully so. You're supposed to focus on your family. All right. My thing is focus also the impact that your family will suffer. Say the family across the street from you has life-changing events happen to them. Say that you were cool with their kids. Say that y'all kids was cool. That y'all families were straight together. You know what I'm saying? Mutual respect. And next thing you know, you got a whole neighborhood that you're fighting against and what you used to love. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's how deep y'all got to start thinking about these things. All right? Shout out to everyone who do think about it in them kind of ways. You see what I'm saying? Only just because it keeps you prepared. It could be worst case scenario all you want. Hopefully it doesn't get there. And if you have family, if you have a squad, if you have trusted people, some people can't trust other people. That's another thing. And of course they know it's a good idea to do so. They just can't because it's too fast for them. You see what I'm saying? Like, these are the kind of emotions that are felt in the midst of wars. You see what I'm saying? And if we're getting into an angrier world, angrier wars, where does that really leave you exactly? If you know how radiation works, not going to get into it, but if you know how it works, even to the insane, that's insane. Now, if you don't care about death, then do me and the entire nation a favor and go in the corner and figure death out for yourself. See what I'm saying? Like, we'll give you what you want if you're trying to take yourself out. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not promoting violence, no. All I'm saying is these are the intricacies that one feel at war. All right? We're getting into the back of the house headline. So, the back of the house headline is, I was doing some studying, right? You know what I'm saying? And I ran across a couple of things. And mind you, so this is going to be some of the first things that I talk about with y'all coming down the line on the segment with cryptocurrency, this and the third. But I was looking up the Moorish, you know what I'm saying, nation, right? Looking up the Moorish nation. I'm looking up every aspect of history of the Moorish nation, from the Andalusia, Cordoba nation in Spain, that in which the Great Mosque has, you know, is a product of, you know, to the expulsions of the Moors from Spain, 1492 to 1692. Really, there was 3 expulsions, because around 1100, you know, between 1100 and 1130, there was a big war. You see what I'm saying? In America, while that was going on, and you got the Yemenis native tribes, you got the Gullah Geechee people of all of North, South, California, or Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana. You see what I'm saying? And this is the bulk of slavery at the time. You see what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised if those states that I named, about 80% of every black person that's going at least 3 generations down the line, you could be American native. Not Native American, but American native. See what I'm saying? Like, that's what I've seen. And it's not like I was ever denying that Moorish people have descendantry. I just want to know where your spiritual descendantry lies. You see what I'm saying? That's where I want to know, you know. As you know what I'm saying, that I am of the Muslim faith. You know what I mean? But there's always ever been one, you see what I'm saying, one Ummah that I follow, and that's the Ummah of Abraham. Okay, now we can all understand that, can we not? You see what I'm saying? Abraham, the first of the faith. You know what I mean? And mind you, all the paintings have been revealed to be black. Okay? And mind you, with the rise of the unity of the Sahel states, you see what I'm saying, in Africa, shout out to Abraham Traore. And again, I say, this is not hostile. This is intentional. But it's intentional with the high hopes that you don't take it any kind of way. But it's for rightful ownership of land. Do we not? I know we remember all of the world, of the wars, even wars that are not written within the history books. Why? Because we have to. It's how we carry it on. It's how that's how spells are written against people. You see what I'm saying? Things of that nature. That's the reason why grammar was one of the highest sciences to learn at the time. Science. Grammar used to be named a science. Okay, now it's just named an aspect of literature. You see what I'm saying? Like it's downgraded. We gotta upgrade our sciences, upgrade our knowledge in them. All right, that's one of the ways to go about getting this done. All right, straight up. And so it's just something I'm thinking about until the next episode. And as you know, that is your man's Moomam on the mic. I want to thank y'all for listening to the next podcast, for this podcast. And I'm going to see y'all on the next episode. Let's get it.
I don't mean no disrespect, but no way. I can't listen to you, I do this my own way. This is not a game, no, I don't play. And you wasn't game before, so now it's no way. no way. No, no.